Okay, fellas, it is that time. We're getting close to the release of our next April Fool's Dokkan Fest character, which, as many of you already know, it is going to be a new perfect form cell, so we gotta go ahead and talk about him and everything, his animations and this kid. But also beyond that, we also got a major data download take place earlier today. So, of course, in this vid, we're gonna go ahead and break down that data download, talk about all of the important information that came as a part of it that you all need to know going into the next campaign, because there is just a lot of things that we have to cover in this vid. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited for this, but I hope you guys are even more excited, and I hope you guys will also enjoy the vid. If you do, you know what to do. Of course, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, show your support. We are on the road to 1K subs, and you guys help us get to that goal a lot faster. Also, comment down below your thoughts. Let us all know, what do you guys think about the new STR Perfect Form cell, the new Dokkan Fest Perfect Form cell? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and get started. So, there's a lot of stuff we have to talk about. Obviously, we have to talk about the new cell and everything, but the first thing I want to do is to talk about the data download, because I think the data download sets us up pretty well in terms of what to talk about in the vid as a whole, right? So, of course, shout out to Proton 10MG, a GOAT when it comes to this stuff. But yeah, so with the data download, this was from the JP side of the game. I think the global side is still going on right now as we speak, but we got the promotional movie, we got the information on our new Dokkan Fest Perfect Form cell, our side banner Android 18, we'll talk about her in just a sec as well. We have information on a free-to-play TOR Awakening with our mini Vegeta from Daima, of course. We have some new stages, a new Dokkan event stage, new easy areas and stuff, a new Daima stage. We also have a new battlefield to look forward to, and a new set of easy A's to look forward to as well. So there's just a lot of cool stuff. I'll talk about the easy A's in just a sec, so I'll keep that in the back burner for now. But with that all kind of covered, because this is the main part of the data download, let's go ahead and get started with Cell, right? Let's look at the new Cell, look at the new animations and everything, because I already saw the animations. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I saw the animations partially. I saw the kit and everything to a slight degree, but I didn't really go into the greatest detail on all that sort of stuff because I want to go ahead and break it down here. So I want to kind of save myself in that respect. But let's go ahead and check out the animations first. Then we'll go ahead, look at the new character kits, and go from there, because there's just a lot of stuff to talk about. So yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. So this should be the animations. There we go. So this is going to be animations for 18 and for Cell. Of course, not for Vegeta, I don't believe, so it is what it is. 18, though, this is actually pretty good. And interestingly, you guys will see, this is 18 from the Majin Buu saga, apparently. I'm not sure why they did this, but this is a very interesting choice. Cell. Okay, I will say, this intro OST, let me turn this up a bit more on my end so that maybe it'll be easier for you guys to hear it, but this OST is kind of hard. I like they did the TV static and everything. They did some nice stuff. That slow pan is kind of cool, though at the same time it's kind of whatever to me, I guess, to a degree. I'll talk about the art in just a sec, because I have something to say about that art. He has a domain active right there. I'm not gonna lie, some parts look pretty good, but I made a post that looks kind of wonky to me, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of cool, purple aura. I'm not sure why he has that technically, but it's cool, I guess. And as you guys will see, this is on 1x speed, to be fair, that's why it's so slow. But he does right here have a revival, so that's actually really sick as well. It kind of makes sense with Cell if you think about it. Cell regenerates, so that makes perfect sense. Oh, that looked kind of visceral, I'm not gonna lie. that looked kind of clean. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. 12 key, this is on 1x speed, I think, so it could look a bit better, but just a basic Kamehameha. I guess Super Kamehameha for him technically, but no, it's just a plain old Kamehameha, whatever. There you go. Yeah, that's our April Fool's character, right? April Fool's, right? Actually, it's March 31st right now when I'm recording this, but April Fool's, right? I will say, I'm not sure what the title of this vid is going to be. I had an idea for a title for this when I first saw Cell, which is just going to be if this is a joke or not, because okay, let me say this. I don't really go too much into animations because I'm not the best animation buff when it comes to the quality of animation stuff. The intro is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of the slow pan of the Cell game arena. It's cool, but it's not the best kind of pacing thing for me. The domain, I have no problem with it. The active is fine, whatever. This is what bothers me. Is his revival is clean. Don't get me wrong. His super attack effect though, I know some people are mad about this shot right here being the same thing as his in LR kind of form. That is kind of annoying, but at the same time I'm okay with it because it's a pretty clean shot. Let's be for real. What does piss me off though is this angle right here, if I can find it. What is this? This is disgusting. I get Cell as a bug and and everything, he's a robot or an android, I guess, or he's technically a bio android, right? But this is disgusting. This is actually sick. This is actually, ugh. I'm grossed out. I'm pretty sure I could pose and do a better Kamehameha than that. But Let me not hate on Cell, because Cell would probably beat the brakes off of me. But, you know, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the super attack animations. I'm not gonna lie about that. When we look at the kit and everything, when we look at the character, and by the way, I will say this art is ass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, maybe it's just me, but like his hands are massive and his head is so tiny. Like, I'm pretty sure if you just overlay his hand to his head, that is gonna just be bigger than his skull. Like, that is insane how they designed it, but I really don't like this card art. I'm maybe being a bit too critical about just art, but at the same time, I feel like we're in 2025. We've seen so many cleaner character designs, just even random characters, right? And they look so much better. They look so much cleaner. Their animations look better. I will say right now, the 2022 Int Yamcha, right, from like Saiyan Saga Yamcha, has better card art and animations, in my opinion, than this Cell. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, you could maybe argue the revival is better. I'll give you that. The intro is kind of cool, but I think overall, I would take Yamcha. I really would. So, yeah, it's interesting, but that's just my thoughts on the animations. Let's go ahead and just look at the kits, because that is the more important thing when it really comes down to it, right? So, of course, Cell, extreme STR type, and of course, TOR character. He has a domain. We saw that, of course. Perfect form, so just bear that in mind. You know, he's not perfect Cell, like the Cell who fought Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at the end. He's perfect form Cell who fought Super Vegeta and Goku, that type of Cell, right? That's how the naming works. So that means he will link really well with the Super Easy Tech Cell, who is a fantastic character. So if you guys get this character, which I will make a separate vid on should you summon, but if you guys happen to get this character or something like that, he will pair up pretty nicely with him. So bear that in mind. Of course, the Tech Super Easy Cell works pretty well there. Okay, so let's look at the lead and everything. So leader skill, tournament participants or Worldwide Chaos category, key +3, 200% to HP, 170% to attack and defense, plus the extra 50% to stats for characters in androids or accelerated battle. So, accelerated battle is pretty good. I'm glad he kind of buffs androids, although it's not exactly what I was hoping for, but it is something. I did say in like one of my recent vids that androids as a category needs a lot of love, and this is already a step in the right direction, so I will give credit where credit is due, but I mean, it's just interesting to me, like, how they're kind of setting things up. The leader skill, him leading tournament participants after our last year April Fool's character led tournament participants, right, with Topo, that's kind of interesting to me. Like, Worldwide Chaos is cool, but tournament participants, I'm not gonna lie, like, I wish this was something else. Could it be, like, power absorption, maybe, I don't know, something else? Like, I feel like they could have done something other than tournament participants, but maybe they needed that to give you some other really powerful characters, like the MUI Gokus and stuff. So, you know, there's all sorts of things like that. That way, I mean, technically, with the whole tournament participant lead, you could take in the physical 10th anniversary Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So there's, you know, there's some options there, but all sorts of interesting stuff, really. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the passive, right? So we'll look at the passive. By the way, actually, let me stop and talk about these link skills real quick. So link skills, I'm not the biggest kind of, you know, like aficionado when it comes to link skills, but him having bad bosses, that is really good, because obviously that's one of, if not the best links in the game. So I'm really glad he does have that. When we look at the passive skill, right, so he does have the intro, can be done when there is a tournament participants category enemy or another tournament participants ally at the start of the character's attacking turn. You know, when that happens, he has an infinite, like for the rest of the turn or rest of the match rather, he has a high chance of performing a crit, so that's a 50% chance to have a built-in crit guarantee, right? With his attacks. He also has a guaranteed launching additional super, so that's guaranteed for the rest of the fight, so that's good. And he automatically creates his domain, the Cell Games Arena, for 5 turns. So that's going to be right out the gate. There is no conditions other than just getting the intro off. You cannot even control this, so this domain will activate right away. So that can be kind of annoying, maybe, but at the same time, maybe that's a good thing, because obviously that's for 5 turns. You know, if we're talking about some tournament participants' characters, there is one particular character who is really good by turn 5 with his domain, but you have to wait till then, and that's, of course, TechUI Goku. So TechUI could kind of fit there in a weird kind of niche way with the domain overlappings. But yeah, interesting stuff there. Basic effects, key +2, attack and defense +200%, okay. 20% damage reduction flat out, that's okay, that's fine. Launches additional has a great chance to become a super, nice. When there's a tournament participants category enemy, 50% to attack and defense, so kind of a gimmicky kind of thing there. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's not the biggest loss as well, so, you know, give or take. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack +150% for every attack he's performing, you know, basics or supers, defense +30% up to 150%. So do 5 attacks and you get this built up. When the character is KO'd, he revives with HP fully recovered. So he has a revival mechanic right here, basically turn 1 to turn infinity. Whenever this Cell dies, right, no one else on the team but the Cell, he will get his revival off, which is full HP recovery. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I like that it's available right away. But also, I'm not the biggest fan of this specific revival kind of setup, because I'm a bigger fan of revival setups where it protects the whole team. Cell isn't doing that. He's only covering himself, which makes sense because Cell's kind of selfish. But, you know, at the same time, I wish it was kind of covering the team, right? In Broly, for example, he covers the team, right? So, you know, I wish it were kind of like that. But, you know, with the revival here, so after the character's or an ally's revival is activated, so if you get a revival off in general, he will gain 30% damage reduction temporarily when receiving a super, okay? And after his specific revival is activated, damage reduction increases by 15% and built-in guards against all attacks for the rest of the fight, both of them. So, interesting stuff, I will say. So if we're doing the math, right, the combination of the damage reductions, basically he'll get 20 plus 15 plus 30. So what is that? That's going to be 65% damage reduction when receiving a super after his revival skill is activated. Now, there is one annoying thing to mention here, which is that, you know, his revival is easy to access, but under a double, you know, cell lead, right, a double perfect cell lead, or perfect form cell, whatever, under a double lead of this cell, only one of them will get their revival skill activated, because you can only do one in a game. So if that happens, one cell is going to get the full 65% damage reduction plus guard. The other is going to be out of luck, because he's going to miss out on the guard, he's going to miss out on damage reduction, he's only going to be able to get this 30% plus the 20% plus his stats, and that's it. Now, you could maybe like make this work, because Cell doesn't have to be in slot 1, slot 2, or slot 3 specifically, so he can move him around, which I do appreciate. But, you know, it does frustrate me that, you know, the way this character works, one character is going to benefit more than the other because you're missing out on the revival skill in that respect. So I do kind of hate that. I kind of do. But, you know, I mean, revival characters, they are always going to be susceptible to that sort of issue. MUI Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Evolved Vegeta have the same kind of thing to a degree, where they get certain benefits if their revival skill is activated specifically. So it's the same kind of thing. But other than that, I will say, Cell, for me, Cell is kind of okay. I feel like he's going to be an average, like semi-decent to pretty solid, you know, TUR, not insanely cracked. I don't think he's going to be trash, but I've seen a lot of people say that this Cell is not that good, and that's kind of tough, because Cell is a big, like, crazy bad guy in Dragon Ball history, right? So he deserves a lot of love, but it is what it is. Now, the active skill. So, can be activated when HP is 70% or less, or starting from the 4th turn from the character's entry. When doing so, attack and defense plus 35% for the rest of the fight, and ki plus 2. This is really good. This is actually better, I believe, than the Saiyan Day Kid Goku as far as the buff is concerned. But I will say, it is a bit longer, I guess, like the condition, because I think Kid Goku does it on turn 3. This one you have to wait till the 4th turn from the character's entry, or when HP is 70% or less. So, a bit more gimmicky perhaps, but that boost is amazing. That is really awesome. He's on a bunch of categories, by the way, so tournament participants, worldwide chaos, androids, accelerated battle, all 4 are a part of his leader. Transformation boost though, time travelers, artificial life forms, Kamehameha, android cell saga, target Goku, power absorption, sworn enemies, powerful comeback. Actually, now that I think about it, if he led sworn enemies, that would be sick. If he led target Goku, because I mean, to be fair, Cell was kind of obsessed with Goku. That's kind of why he did the Cell Games Arena, right? Was because he wanted to fight Goku specifically. So if he led target Goku, that would be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, but still, you know, a pretty decent categorically diverse kind of character, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 categories. So not the best diversifiable kind of character, but still some pretty good categories to mix and match from. And he's not exactly limited in terms of where you have to put him. The only thing is you want to put him with another tournament participant's ally, and that's basically it. Just one other ally. So you can make it work. So I'll give credit where credit is due. Cell works in a lot of different options, I will say that, based off his whole kind of thing. So we love to see it. Now, the super attack effect. So this is a Ki Blast super. Bear that in mind, of course, for any sort of bosses with gimmicks against that. But Cell can greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn and cause immense damage to the enemy. So no stacking like Kid Goku, right? So he's different there. I will say, I've seen some people say it, he is going to be more so built, it would seem, for things like Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, Red Zone stages, Blue Zone stages. Certainly not Festival of Battles, the quote-unquote hardest event in Dokkan history, the longest event in Dokkan history probably. But it is what it is. I mean, not every character has to be built for that specific fight, so I'm glad that they didn't make Cell basically a carbon copy, but to a weaker degree of Kid Goku in that respect. But yeah, Cell pretty straightforward. We'll look at the domain. So, of course, with this domain, tournament participants category enemies and allies will gain 50% to attack and defense, and androids or android/Cell Saga category enemies and allies will also gain attack and defense plus 15%. So, boosting those two sides with there, a lot of attack and defense, which means he could do a lot of damage. So, honestly, I think Cell is going to be kind of interesting. He may be a bit more fun than I'm giving him credit, but off rip, I'm kind of skeptical in terms of how good he can be, because, you know, it's kind of weird to me just in terms of how he could potentially be, but who knows. All right, let's look at Android 18. So this is our side banner 18. So worth noting, again, she is technically from the Majin Buu saga. So I'm not sure why she's the side banner character for an Android saga cell, but it is what it is. Anyways, 130% lead for World Tournament and Peppy Gals, key +3 and everything with the passive skills. So attack and defense plus 180%, launches additional, there's a high chance to become a super, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow orbs. We love an orb changer right there. All allies will gain 30% to attack and defense plus key +2 right there, so good support. For tournament participants allies, right, they will also gain attack, defense, and a crit chance boost by 18% on top of the 30 right there. So that is all pretty powerful. With 12 or more key, attack and defense plus 180%. When there are 3 or more tournament participants, category allies on the team, high chance to perform a crit, launches an additional as a high chance to become a super, and as the second or third slot character, great chance to dodge. So she's basically a dodge or die character, let's just say for what it is. She does greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn with her super, so that is going to be pretty helpful, of course, but still, basically a dodge or die character. I do appreciate that the level of support that she can provide in the turn. That is really sick. I really do appreciate that, but yeah, I saw some people joke that she may be better than Cell. I don't think so, but I like the idea that some people are that willing to push agendas, but I don't think it's going to happen. I will say, categorically speaking, she's not as diversifiable as Cell is, let's be honest. I mean, World Tournament, Peppy Gals, we love to see those two, of course. Majin Buu Saga, yeah, still kind of interesting that she's a Majin Buu Saga release right next to the Cell Saga release of Cell, of course. Tournament participants, Android siblings bond, worthy rivals, Balowitz. But yeah, I mean, I don't think she's better than Cell, but she seems okay. I'll say that. She seems okay. But yeah, so obviously we have them. When we look at Dokkan info, there is a lot of other stuff to talk about, of course, because not only do we have them, we got EZAs for Goku/Gohan and the HGL First Form Cell, of course, both of whom were the Golden Week characters from 2022. So this was very surprising. Me personally, I was expecting the EZA for the tech androids, but they are the EZAs we're getting. So yeah, this is really out of left field for me. But you know, we do have the EZAs, of course. Shout out to Issa right here, because Issa is where I got the EZAs for as far as the kit details right here. So shout out to Issa again, she is awesome. But let's go ahead and check this out. So this is going to be Goku specifically, then the next side right here is going to be Gohan, right? So when it comes to Goku, key +2, attack and defense plus 200%, right? Okay. When attacking with key 12 or more, attack and defense increase by 159%, okay? Within the first 5 turns of appearances, 159% defensive boost right there. Extremely high chance of critical hits, so that should be a great chance to crit, I believe. Always perform additionals and activate special moves with a high probability, so high chance to do additional super, with guaranteed additional with a high chance for that to become a super, I should say. When you do the super, that's going to give you a very high chance, which should be a great chance, I believe, of dodging. So that's going to be very special. Of course, you know, Goku going to have an awesome dodge chance right there. After the 6th turn, 59% boost to defense, high chance to do a crit, perform an additional that has a high chance to trigger the super move, and then also when you do a special, right, when you do a super attack, there's a high chance that you will dodge enemies' attacks. So a bit less chance of dodging and everything, but that's okay because, you know, at least for the first few turns, he is still going crazy in that respect. And also right here, this is kind of actually really powerful for him, it seems, infinitely increasing his attack and defense, unless I'm mistaken, by 59% every time he dodges, right? So that means Goku could be kind of cracked in that respect. Let me go ahead, actually, let me just double check this just to like make sure that everything's kind of showing up in the right way here. So let me go ahead and just kind of translate this to English right here. But yeah, pretty much the same thing. So it's not formatting the way I wanted to, but it's basically the same thing. So honestly, pretty happy about that. We do have the super attack effect right here, by the way, so attack will increase significantly, so that should be a 50% chance to boost attack, so greatly raising attack right there, so that's awesome. Greatly raising defense for 1 turn, so the attack is infinitely stacking, the defense only for 1 turn, enormous damage to the opponent, high chance to stun. We love to see that. We love to see all of that. And of course, he can exchange into Gohan. That's the gimmick about this character, is he can give up and then give his turn to Gohan, of course, so that's really beautiful, of course, but, you know, it can be done if special moves are done 3 or more times during battle, so pretty easy right there. And then from there, I mean, we have to go ahead and look at what Gohan can do, right? So that's going to be the fun stuff. So let's go ahead and see what Gohan is capable of. Key +2, attack and defense plus 250%. When under attack, so I think when he receives an attack is what that means to say, increases attack by 58% infinitely. Wow, that's actually really crazy strong. The more HP remaining, defense increases up to 158%. Within the first 3 turns of appearances for Gohan, he's guarding against all attacks, and also 58% damage reduction. If 2 guards are done during a battle, he will gain a permanent boost of 158% 58% to his defense, 10% permanent boost to his damage reduction, and a 20% permanent boost to his crit chance. When 3 guards are done, so that's, 2 guards, 3 guards right here, another 158% boost to attack and defense, another 10% boost to damage reduction, and a 30% boost to crit rate. When 5 guards are successful, guard against all attacks for the rest of the fight, 10% damage reduction again, and 50% crit rate right there. Let me just finish this first. When receiving an enemy's super, high probability of nullifying the attack and countering with extreme force. If HP is 77% or below, right? Below 77%, the attack will be guaranteed nullified and a powerful counter will be performed. This unit is insanely powerful. I actually did not read this kit. I heard that it was pretty strong. I did not know how strong this was. Because remember, Goku stacking attack. He already has insane dodge chance. Goku, if we go back to him, he's infinitely raising attack and defense. So that's already pretty strong. Then you go to Gohan, whenever you decide to go into Gohan, because you feel like, hey, I want to focus on the defensive side. He's got built-in guard, a bunch of damage reduction, and also a bunch of defense, right? Then you just get all these guards. If you're putting him in slot 1 or slot 2, he should get this pretty quickly. Then you're basically going to get all these buffs, and they're all combining. I'm pretty sure they should be combining on top of each other, right? So if they're being additive, this is even better. If this is just like a singular thing, that will kind of suck, but I'm pretty sure it's additive, right? So, if it's additive, this is going to be a 100% crit chance right there with 5 guards. That's going to be 30% crit damage reduction rate right there. That's going to be guaranteed guard against all attacks, and also basically a bit less than 320% to his defense right there, and a 160% to his attack right there, plus the extra 160 to his defense there, and all these attack. I forgot about this. He's also infinitely boosting his attack when he receives an attack. So, yeah, this guy is actually really insanely cracked. Let me go ahead and just double check what Gohan can do with his super attack effect, because that's going to be pretty important, of course, just seeing what Gohan could do. Wow, this did not format at all, well. But okay, so with the super attack effect, this is a massively multiplier right here, so massively increases attack and defense by 1 turn, deals enormous damage to the opponent. This is actually insane. I said it on one of my recent vids about, the easy A's, and, I think actually the last vid I posted maybe, but, I said, oh, this is one of those characters who I want to get a really cracked easy A. I'm really glad. It looks like they did some good justice right here, so yeah, this is hot. I'm not gonna lie. This is hot. This is hot for real. Okay, so we saw. I'm lost for words. We saw Goku and Gohan, what they can do. Let's go ahead and check out Cell now, because Cell has a lot of stuff going for him. Of course, remember Cell, he has 4 different forms and everything, so he can do a lot of interesting stuff. Let me go ahead and actually pull up Cell right here, just to make sure that I have things ready on my side of the ship, if you will, as we go ahead and just see what Issa is gonna post right there. Actually, I guess we can look at it right here, because it's kind of posting in the same kind of focus, but let's go ahead and see this. So, for Cell, it seems like he's able to stack attack now with his super attack effect, so attack increases significantly, so 50% attack boost right there, greatly increasing defense for 1 turn, and no more damage to the opponent. So this is the same as STR Goku, with the basic effects in his first form, attack and defense 250%, a high chance to dodge enemy attacks in general, so 50% chance to dodge, key plus 1 by the way, when attacking with key 12 or more, attack and defense plus 170% again. When there are 2 or more enemies, 80% to attack and defense on top of that, and also boosting crit and dodge chance by 18% both. When there are 3 or more enemies, a further boost to attack and defense by 70%, and another boost of crit and evasion chance by 17% as well. So really strong stuff there. When HP is 50% or above, key plus 2, an additional is guaranteed, with that being a high chance to become a super, and also damage reduction, crit chance, and evasion all increased by 17%. So let's just do the math, right? So for first form Cell, 50% chance right there. Let's just assume the best case scenario. Best case scenario, which is kind of like Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, or something like that. Maybe like Battlehorn and Formidable Foes. Actually, not even Battlehorn and Formidable Foes, but Super Battle Road, basically, right? So Cell will gain 50 plus, I'm trying to do math here, I'm not gonna lie, my brain is not working. So 17, that's 34. 34, I promise I went to college. 34% plus 18%, so that's going to be, what is that? Can I do math? So 34, that's going to be 42, 52% right there, right? So 52% plus that's, am I tripping? Is that guaranteed dodge when all these conditions are met? Guaranteed dodge, I think, when all those conditions are met. When you miss out on that, you're still basically getting damn near 80% chance to dodge. This guy's actually pretty crazy. And also from the 3rd turn onwards from the start of battle, so turn 3, goes straight into absorbing Android 17 and goes into his 2nd form. So let's see his 2nd form here. Looks like he can still stack attack, it would seem. Still the same kind of effects right there. So with the easy, right? So Key +2, attack and defense plus 280%, guards against all attacks guaranteed, I love that, 70% to dodge, crit chance, and damage reduction. With 12 or more key, at 180% to attack and defense when there are 2 or more enemies, 120% to attack and defense on top of that, plus another 18% to dodge and crit chance right there. If the HP is above 50%, key +1, additional guarantee with a high chance to become a super, 18% to evasion rate, crit rate, and damage reduction, and from the next attacking turn onwards, absorbs Android 18, so that's right away right there. And then the next turn shows up, and that's Cell. So Cell, attack and defense increase significantly for 1 turn, so 50% right there for both, deals enormous damage to the opponent. Seems like a pretty basic kind of a setup here. Let me go ahead and go back to Isa's kind of side of things, because I want to make sure that one is correct, because that seems basic. So this is perfect form Cell, apparently. Right, yeah, that's perfect form Cell. So perfect form Cell, key +3, attack and defense plus 400%, which is actually pretty crazy. 35% to dodge chance, crit chance, and damage reduction. With the first 3 turns appearance, guards against all attacks. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense plus 180% on top of this 400. If HP is 50% or higher, always performs an additional and activates specials with a high chance to do so. Crit chance and dodge chance increase by 35%. So that's actually pretty interesting. I'm not sure. I feel like this is kind of bad actually compared to the rest of Cell. Like, this doesn't feel as good. However, his stats are pretty good, so I guess by then you want to put him in slot 2 probably, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. This is going to be his rage mode, so key +3 right there, attack plus 200%, guaranteed to trigger a crit, and also super attack effect temporarily increases attack and does extra large damage to the opponent. So straightforward stuff. I do like the first few forms of Cell, but I think Goku and Gohan are, I'm gonna say it, I think they're miles ahead of Cell. Like, I think they're much better than Cell, I'm not gonna lie. But Cell seems pretty good too, don't get me wrong. I just think that Goku and Gohan are just that much better. Am I tripping? I think I may be tripping, but at the same time, I don't care, because my goats are eating. I love Goku. Goku's eating, so I'm happy for it. But okay, so we got them. Let's go ahead and talk about Daima Vegeta. Then we'll talk about that April Fool's easy to look forward to. But Daima Vegeta, right? Daima Vegeta. So with the free-to-play character, key +3, HP attack and defense 50% up. With the super attack effect, increases attack for 1 turn, defense increases, so that's greatly raising defense. I believe this is infinite stacking right there. Deals extra large damage to the opponent, okay? The passives, so adapt and change, basic effects, attack and defense plus 150%, key +2 for all allies, defense plus 40%, and if there is an additional ally within the Dragon Ball Secret category in the attacking turn, key +1, crit chance increased by 20%, guards all attacks guaranteed, and has a medium chance to dodge enemy attacks. And this is the next part of his passive, it seems. But each time an attack is received or evaded, attack and defense increase by 30% to a maximum of 150% for the rest of the fight, and he increases his crit chance by 10% up to 50%. So pretty simple kit, but still not too bad. I think the build for this character specifically is going to basically be additional and dodge, which is kind of like the go-to for so many characters right now. But additional and dodge, I'd probably say go for dodge more so than additional, but you probably want to balance it to a degree. Maybe like, you know, 60, like 66, 30, 33, right? Like 2/3, right? Like you want to kind of balance it or something like that, because he needs to stack, it seems like, and also like dodge chance is helpful. So pretty simple stuff right there. But yeah, so Vegeta, done right there. Let's go ahead and look at the Papara kind of people right there. Was it like Boom Papa, whatever? I forgot what these guys are. I forgot what they're. There we go, Para brothers. I forgot them, okay? I need to watch GT again. But so special pose Lee, key +3, HP attack and defense plus 77% up, or 50% to stats for physical type characters. Defense increase significantly for 6 turns, deals extra large damage to the opponent, increase allies attack other than themselves by 32% for 2 turns, okay? Key +1, defense plus 333%, attack and defense increased by 33% for all allies other than themselves. If they are the first or second slot character to get orbs, they will give key +2 and attack plus 25% to all allies. If they are in the third slot, another defensive boost of 333% plus defense plus 25% for all allies and key +2. When there is an enemy in the GT hero category or an enemy who is int type, very high chance of sealing all enemy special moves. When there are 2 or more allies of physical type other than themselves on the team, action breaks the attacked enemies for the first 5 turns from their appearance. Why is this character so good? Actually, wait, why is he good? Am I tripping? I feel like he's good. Like that could be 606. Wait, hold up. That's some quick brain thing. Hold on. Why is that number coming through here? Hold up. But that's 666% defense. So That's kind of crazy. In slot 3, plus the defensive support, plus the other support in general, plus technically they're supporting attacks for the other side. This could be a very fun character to use for certain categories. Now, they're only on a few categories, but like I think that's Special Pose, Joint Forces, and Dragon Ball Seekers, but still, like that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty funny. Okay, so that's pretty much all the characters we have to cover, right? We talked about all the characters and everything. There's only a few small minor things to cover. So first thing I want to cover here is from a good friend here, Celtic. So Celtic link right there. Shout out to Celtic. Of course, if you guys don't check out his YouTube channel, check him out because he's obviously got a YouTube channel and he's actually a really fun content creator, really cool guy. But yeah, so he mentioned there are some new missions to look forward to for like the Go Frieza fight, I believe, for like the ultimate like the Blue Zone stage or whatever. So this is for the Red Zone stage, sorry. So for that specific stage, there's some new EX missions which ask you to beat it with a team full of rival category characters and also the Universe Survival Saga category. So based off of that, what that could suggest is our part 2 character is going to be a Kefla or some sort of Tournament of Power character is what the idea is, because, you know, basically that's gonna kind of tie into the focus of part 1 with the tournament participants kind of focus, all that sort of stuff. So we'll have to see. I will make a separate vid probably talking about like what the part 2 LR predictions will be, but if it's gonna be a Kefla, that's gonna be like really out of left field. Like for me, like I would prefer if we got like a Bye Guys Goku, but that to me is, I guess it's not to the same level as what the reference I'm going to make, but to me it kind of feels almost similar to 2023 when we had the April Fool's Kale and then part 2 was Super Boo. Like it's just kind of weird, like the out of left field kind of thing, to a lesser degree I guess right now, but still like it's kind of a weird choice for me in the grand scheme of things. But that's just my thoughts right there. The last thing I want to cover, kind of minor here, but we got some new battle motions. Of course, you see them right there. Let me go ahead and just like made this into like full screen because we got to see this. So we earlier, like a few weeks ago, we got like the battle motions and everything. Maybe a week ago, we got the battle motions for the Dragon Ball Super Gogeta, right? Super Saiyan Gogeta and Super Saiyan Gogeta Blue, right? Now we have the motions for his counterpart for Broly, right? Like the Dragon Ball Super Broly. So we have the Super Saiyan Broly and the Rage Full Power Broly. So let's go ahead and check these out because I saw them partially, but I didn't really see them that greatly. But let's see here. So go ahead, I have to swap them off and everything. That Super Saiyan Broly, the aura is looking so insane. Full Power Broly, yo, that is clean. And his hair flowing, his cape is flowing. I am a sucker for this. I didn't show you guys the Cell battle motion, but like if I can, because I don't have it pulled up or anything, the Cell battle motion is basically, it's basically just Cell just like stretching his limbs, and that's it. Like it's so basic. Like I will say, when it comes, let me go back to the Cell real quick. Let me get on a bit of a tangent here. Let me rant about this freaking Dokkan Fest character, because this is just like, this is not really necessary for the vid. I just need you guys to understand where I'm coming from. First of all, your art, buddy, your art is ass. Like, I'm sorry, but whoever drew you, I'm sorry they had to do this work. I'm sure they were just pulling all-nighters. They must have been so tired, because this could have been done a lot better. I'm not the best artist. I actually am a shit drawer. I'm terrible at doing art, so I cannot judge. If you ask me to draw Cell right now, I promise you the best thing I can do is do polka dots. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But the art is not doing it for me for a 2025 Dragon Ball character. We've seen so many better arts. The super attack animation, come on now. Like, why? And the idle animation, the battle motion, I know I didn't show it. Why is his battle motion so mid? Can he just have aura? Can he just have like sparkles or something? Like, come on, like give him some key, give him something to show, right? Because, you know, for me, one of the coolest things about these battle motions is getting to see the animations and the flow of the hair and everything, but also the aura of these characters, like the key and everything. That is some of the best stuff about these Dragon Ball characters, for me personally at least. And we see it with Broly, we've seen it with Gogeta, we see it with the Tech Blues and everything, the Super Saiyan Gods and everything, right? We see it with Gogeta's, like the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and everything, the Super Gogeta from the 10th anniversary. Like, come on, like what's going on here? So that's just my rant right there. But there you go. Let me come back to normal here. That's pretty much all the stuff from the data download. That's all the stuff we have to cover. Of course, we talked about the animations, the kits and everything, all the new battle motions, the new characters, all that sort of stuff. There is a lot of stuff they have to talk about, but I'm glad we were able to kind of get through it, because it's like in the middle of the night for me, so I'm very tired, but I also had to make sure to do this vid before it was too late. So I'm very glad we got through it. But there we go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the vid, because that's going to be where we wrap things up. So if you guys enjoyed the vid, again, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, show your support. We are on the road to 1K subs, and with your support, we can get there much, much quicker than where we're going right now. So obviously, you know, if you want to show your support, subscribe to the channel. Also, comment down below your thoughts. Let me know once again, what do you guys think about the new Dokkan Fest perfect form Cell. Me personally, I think he's going to be an average TOR, nothing too crazy but not too bad either, but I'm not going to say he's going to be that great just quite yet. But let me know if you guys disagree in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Cell personally in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching, take care, stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next one.